Welcome, my friends, to a spooky edition of Fusspot Perfumes. Okay, so to be more serious, I'm going to give you now a list of the perfumes that I'd wear depending on what costume I was wearing for Halloween. I thought this would be a really fun way to do a more autumnal, Halloween-y kind of perfume list that didn't involve things that were too expensive. So these are generally relatively affordable. I've got a couple that are expensive for me, but compared to a lot of other YouTubers, still relatively considered affordable because you can get them for under £100. Let's start with a real bargain though. So if I was going to go to a Halloween party this year and I decided to dress as a werewolf, then I would definitely have to go for a musk. And I'd go for the most animalic and syrupy musk that is in my collection. And that is Jovan musk. And this is the oil formulation. You can see it's really oil, slicky, greasy, musky. Let me have a sniff. The magic of Jovan musk is that although it's animalic and musky, and actually, to be honest, if you want to go full animalic, Alyssa Ashley original musk is absolutely got a funk to it that was a bit too animalic for me, but I think if you really wanted to like werewolf it up, it would be fabulous. It's soapy clean, but it has a very, very strong musk, and the more you wear, the stronger you smell. Like, it gets incredibly musky. It's got like bergamot and jasmine. I think there's tonka bean. It's sweet, it's syrupy, but it's like a real musky beast. If I was going to dress as a zombie this year, I would go for Passion from Makeup Revolution. Now, this is a very good dupe, although obviously nowhere near as strong, but it's a very, very good dupe, I think, of Tom Ford Black Orchid. Now, everybody knows there's something slightly uncomfortable but enthralling about Black Orchid. Passion is a great dupe and it's super, super cheap. Now, it has like that earthy, mushroomy, almost stale vibe in it, but it's also sweet and powdery. I mean, it's got something dead about it, like, but in a magical way. Now, don't get me wrong, obviously for Halloween I want to be smelling yummy, and I do think this is yummy, but it's also slightly odd and uncomfortable, and I think it's definitely got a zombie vibe about it. Whoa. Yeah, it's very strange, earthy, like almost slightly mouldy, which I think is a magical vibe. And a lot of people consider this really sexy as well. So it's definitely one that I think is better on skin, but it's just such a steal. And plus, if you see the real bottle, this is just the pen spray, but the full bottle of Passion from Makeup Revolution, it is like a black and red, very Halloween looking bottle. So it really matches the whole vibe as well. So, obviously, a classic vibe for Halloween is witch. Now, when I think about witches, and this is probably because I'm an absolute massive fan of Terry Pratchett, I think about magical women who are kind of one with the earth, and they work with herbs, they work at midnight. So, Twilight from Lush is that perfect concoction. It's got like delicious, really herbaceous lavender, but it's also got creamy sweet tonka bean. It's called Twilight, which is magical, and it's got like this aniseedy licorice smell in it as well that makes it smell dark. I'm just going to spray this out because I love it on my sheets, but I think for Halloween, I think it would be perfect. A perfect witchy smell for anyone who wants to smell absolutely scrumptious, but also smell like they might have been out picking herbs to make dastardly potions with at midnight. So another absolute favourite for Halloween is a vampire. So my choice for a vampire is Lolita Lempicka Le Parfum. This is the 2021 version that you can still get. They do say on Fragrantica there's a 2023 version, but I suspect it might be the same thing. Now this, when I think about vampires, obviously you think about blood, you think about fangs, but I think about very sexy, mysterious, dark creatures of the night. And although I believe that Lolita Lempicka has something slightly fairy tale-ish about it, it's got something very mysterious and dark and quite gothic smelling about it to me. It's because there's aniseed and there's licorice, but there's a sweet cherry. It's incredibly syrupy, but it has an absolutely intoxicating musk in this one. It smells absolutely magical. It smells like the kind of scent, and this is why I chose it, that would lure in victims. If I was wearing this, I would definitely be able to lure my husband in, and possibly anyone else, and give them a huge bite on the neck. So I think this one would be so cool for a vampire outfit. So this is a brocade perfume called Colour Feeling Orange. And this is what I would go for if I was going to be dressed up like Day of the Dead style, you know? If I had all the face paint and I had the beautiful flowers. And I always think, although there's a fabulous Halloween vibe to that, it is more celebratory and bright. It's not quite as dark, kind of dangerous. It's much more kind of floral and bright and fruity is what I'm thinking, but also spicy. So brocade Colour Feeling Orange, it has lovely beautiful marigold in it, but it's an orange perfume mainly. I think there's mango in there too, but it has a chili note, a chili pepper, capsicum, you know. And it's got like a kind of slightly earthy, woody powderiness, but then it's balanced by that juicy orange and mango. It's sweet, it's spicy, it's a very unusual scent, a really unusual take on orange. It's got more of a kind of dark feel than a lot of orange perfumes would have, and I think it would be fabulous for Day of the Dead because it's still got that zesty, celebratory vibe with that spicy kind of South American scent to it, but then it has the beautiful kind of flowery smell in the background as well as that earth smell. And it definitely has, like, I think it's got ground cherry in it, not as in ground cherry, I think it's a type of flower. It's just perfect, I think, for that outfit. For Sleeping Beauty, there was only one choice for me, and I am aware that this is Stella by Stella McCartney. This one is discontinued, very hard to find now, very expensive, but actually if I had it, then it would be the Halloween choice, and you can still get it from Fragrance X, Nirvana Rose from Elizabeth and James, because that is a very dry, dark, gothic rose, and it does have some similarities to this, but it's a bit more dusty, even more gothy, you know. This one's a little bit brighter, but it still has that same dark rose vibe. So I'm thinking full Sleeping Beauty here, and if there's any such thing as a horror to me, it is Sleeping Beauty. It's supposed to be a fairy tale, but every bit of it screams awfulness. It's a horrible, scary thing. So I think it would be a perfect Halloween costume, and if you're going as Sleeping Beauty, you have to have that rose perfume. And I think Stella, or like I said, Nirvana Rose would be fabulous for that. Magical, dark, gothic rose. Now, if I want to go dressed as a creepy doll on a Halloween party night, I'm going to it was the only choice. Firstly, I knew I'd have to wear a violet perfume, and although Lolita Lempicka is a violet perfume, there's so much licorice, aniseed and musk in that, and a lot of cherry, it takes it in a different direction. V by Lush is violet, ylang ylang and cedarwood. So the cedar in it gives it this dark, dusty, almost old smell, you know. It's got this kind of woody, old wooden box smell to it, and then it's got that kind of creaminess coming from the ylang, and then it has a classic Lush, powdery, beautiful, natural violet. but the violet gets stronger and stronger the more you wear it. When you first spray it, it really is like some kind of finding like an antique Pandora's box made out of cedar wood, opening it up and finding some like dried violets in there, you know. It's that kind of feel, and I think it's just absolutely perfect if you're going to go dressed as a doll. I always think of Sweet Violet when I think of dolls, but this one, there's definitely something creepy about it. It's not a standard violet by any means. It's definitely a little bit unusual. So what if you were going to go dressed as Hansel and Gretel, a nice partner perfume? I'm going to go for Lolita Land. You can only just see it because the juice is so dark. Lolita Lempicka Lolita Land. Now this is a perfume, firstly, looks like a pumpkin. Couldn't get more Halloweeny than a pumpkin, right? This is intensely sweet and sugary. It has a lovely spiciness in this that makes me think of rather than like gingerbread, as obviously you'd have for Hansel and Gretel, but more like a ginger cake, maybe like a Jamaican ginger cake. It's really vanilla-y, like a custardy vanilla, and it has like a very intensely sugary apricot jam scent. I think it smells like the kind of thing Hansel and Gretel would be munching away on in that poor witch's house. So I think this one really represents that kind of overly sweet, greedy, spicy. I don't think there's ginger in this, but because there's licorice and aniseed, when it's mixed with those other ingredients, it really does have that spicy, warm smell. So I think it would be fabulous for a bit of a Hansel and Gretel outfit. What I might find the most terrifying of all the outfits, a clown. So for this one, I've chosen Sun Delight from Jill Sander. This is a perfume that has chocolate in it. Now, my vision of a clown is that they would smell kind of sweet, you know, like they'd want to bring sweeties for the kids. Maybe they'd smell a bit custardy, like a custard pie, and there is a very custardy vanilla in here. But the reason I've chosen this one is because although it has chocolatiness and it has a lovely custardy vanilla, there's something very strange about it that smells a bit like plastic. It's got this weird plasticky synthetic tone that's almost makeup-y, like it almost smells like a weird clown, creepy plastic nose and horrible wig and horrible too much clown makeup. It's almost got that kind of vibe to it. Very, very creepy, very strange and unusual, and it'll be perfect for a clown outfit. So of course, if you're going to go dress as a pumpkin, which is obviously a very classical outfit for Halloween, there's only one thing that I'm going to go for, and that is Demeter's pumpkin pie. Now, pumpkin pie, it's got a lot of cinnamon in it, as you can imagine. It's got a tiny bit of that kind of sweet pastry vibe, but it's also very pumpkin-y and earthy. It really does have a pumpkin note in this that's absolutely realistic. And it's very, very pleasant to wear, this one, because it's not exceptionally sweet, it's not exceptionally strong, but it is absolutely the smell of spiced pumpkin. Perfect if you're going to be going out dressed up like a pumpkin for Halloween. Now, my own probably favourite choice for Halloween, I think, might be Maleficent. So I think Maleficent would definitely have amethyst. I think that she would smell kind of like a forest. I don't think she'd smell particularly sweet. I think that she would smell like she'd been picking berries in the forest, and that is exactly what I think amethyst smells like. It smells like the berries, but it also smells like the leaves, it smells like the branches, it smells like the mud. It's got a rose scent in it as well. There's a slight sweetness in the base, but not much. It really is the most perfect scent for a queen of, a forest fairy queen, I think it's just wonderful. Perfect for Halloween. And could you get a more Halloweeny bottle than this absolute corker? Beautiful. Now, I know a lot of people like to go out at Halloween dressed like a cat, and for me, I couldn't think of anything that would be more perfect for a cat than Obsession Night. I mean, firstly, look at that bottle. It's called Obsession Night, which, that works. But the bottle is the most beautiful shade of translucent blue. I love it. Now, this is a soft, it's definitely musky, it's definitely sweet, but there is something soft and fluffy about this that makes me kind of feel like it would be like strokable fur. There's orange in this, like a bitter orange, but it's very nicely balanced out by white florals. It's got quite an unusual floral scent, this, because it has angelica in it. But there's also a very sort of, again, slightly custardy vanilla in the base of this. But there's definitely musk, there's woods. It's got something mysterious about it. It's not like an obvious scent, this one. I've had a few people tell me that they really like this. And I feel like it's slightly standoffish the way that a cat is, but it also makes you want to be near it. I think it's the perfect scent if you're going to be a bit of a cat for Halloween. Another Halloween classic, a ghost outfit. It would have to be, for me, 1000 Kisses Deep from Lush. Now, this is a perfume that is quite unusual, I'd say. This one, how to describe it? 1000 Kisses Deep is resinous. It's got mandarin orange, it's got myrrh, labdaman, it's got osmanthus. It has like such a strange concoction going on here, and to me, I always think there's a slight vibe of mothballs. Like, it smells like a perfume that's been sitting in an old abandoned house. It has that musty vibe to it, which is weirdly comforting to me, and I think it's beautiful. But it could be so perfect for a ghost costume this Halloween. Now, if I was going to go out this year dressed as Bride of Frankenstein, which, let's be real, a classic Halloween costume, I can't think of anything better than this incredibly strange perfume. This is Cashmere by Chopard. A very strange little perfume. It smells, how do you even describe it? It's powdery. It's earthy. It smells old. It smells strange, but it's also very kind of interesting, and it draws you in. It's got apricot. It's got vanilla. It's definitely got woods. It's got patchouli. But it has, again, that strange musty smell that is highly unusual. Bride of Frankenstein would definitely smell a bit dusty, a bit musty, but she would try to smell beautiful and pretty and sweet at the same time. And this is exactly the kind of perfume that I think that she would wear. I think Cashmere by Chopard would be absolutely, especially because I think she'd love the bottle too, I think it would be perfect for a Bride of Frankenstein outfit. And last but not least on this list of ghoulish and dangerous perfumes, the queen of Halloween. Now, this is if you are going as a full demon. There can be only one choice. There can only be the Poison Apple, the original Poison Apple by Christian Dior. Now, Poison is a dangerous smelling, hellishly strong, smoky, honeyed, tuberose, plum beast of a perfume. It smells as dark as the bottle looks. It is absolutely vicious, and it is absolutely demonic. Only a demon would be brave enough to wear Dior Poison on Halloween. Now, my friends, I will say goodbye. I hope that you have a ghoulish and spooky Halloween, and tell me down below what you wore if you went out and what you were dressed up as.